You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
It's not a must-win, but it's a must-win if you want the next one to not be a must-win. Let's get into it with the lead. Welcome into a kind of must-win edition of Oilers Nation Everyday, live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Apologies for being a little bit late. We got caught in a nasty rainstorm, and we're in our, third or fourth edition of the Sports Closet Studio since we've come down to Florida.
Very versatile.
Very, very versatile. That's what we love about the Sports Closet Studio. Check them out online, sportscloset.ca. It is a Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition of the show, and it's a pretty big one in that the Oilers down 1-0 in the Stanley Cup Final. We got a loaded one coming up. Myself, Liam, as always, JMBM, because it's the Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day, and this guy down at the end in Frank Seravalli. Frank, that rainstorm we were in was pretty gnarly.
Pretty typical in Florida this time of year.
Yeah.
I feel like
And I'm gonna say, by the way, it's not maybe must win or kind of. It is must win.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that
I think
certain?
Going down 2-0 is not ideal.
No,
To say the least.
you split on the road. You split on the road.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to set yourself up for success, you can split on the road. We'll get into that a little bit. It'll be sort of the topic of the giant question of the show later on. But we are starting our show for the second straight day with our appearance from Frank Seravalli. It's brought to you by Horse Racing Alberta, exciting live thoroughbred racing at Century Mile every Friday at 6:15 and Saturday at 3:45. For more information, you can go to thehorses.com. So, Frank, you think it's as simple as that? Like, if knock on wood, they lose tonight,
It's over.
you can't say that,
No,
though.
it is, though. I'm sorry. Like, you're not beating the Florida Panthers 4 times in 5 games.
If I would have told you when they were down 2-1 to Dallas, they were going to win 3 straight against the Stars, you would have said no shot.
No, this is different.
Dallas were one of the worst home teams in the playoffs left, and the Oilers had 2 more home games left there.
Yeah.
I think
Still.
And I also think there's a massive gap in quality of team.
I think looking back on that Dallas series, you see it now, but going into it, a lot of people thought Dallas was just going to steamroll the Oilers. It was going to be a quick series. That's what the conversation
Heading into this
was.
series, the Edmonton Oilers weren't saying this for effect. Internally, they believed that the Florida Panthers were the best team they played all year.
Yeah, and that is fair. In game 1, the Oilers, we talked about this yesterday on the show, and it's been hammered to death, but the Oilers were the better team in game 1, but the Panthers are going to have a pretty big punch in this game. Like, I think either way, tonight's a 1-goal game. If I was a betting man, I'd be going 1-goal gap on either side.
Well, is Florida going to step up, or did we play well enough to slow them down?
And that is, again, like I talked about, not a lack of respect the Oilers were getting coming into this series, but there were a lot of people who just did the whole, how is Edmonton going to adjust to Florida? No one talked about how Florida is going to adjust to Edmonton. Maybe there's a little bit of that. Maybe Florida is going to struggle to adjust to Edmonton. The speed, the attack.
I mean, all of those are fair questions to ask. My point would be they still won the game. So you can talk about adjusting all you want.
Mm-hmm.
The Florida Panthers have another gear to get to. I'm not being negative. I outlined all the reasons to be positive yesterday. I'm just saying from a realistic perspective, if you're the Panthers, you go, we know we can play way better than that. We've got the better goalie, and we've already got a 1-0 series lead in a game that we probably shouldn't have won. There's not really any reason if you're the Panthers to sit there and go, hey, we're going to be feeling it heading into tonight.
Yeah, and that's why, again, I made this point this morning on DFO Live. I think I said it yesterday. No matter what side you were on coming into this series in terms of predictions, you're probably feeling okay still about your predictions either way. Like, if you were an Oilers fan, you were probably thinking Oilers in 6 or 7.
And I picked Oilers in 6.
Yeah.
So I'm not changing. I'm just saying you lose this game, and it's a really difficult. It's difficult for me to find a path to win.
Win tonight, and the
It's-
plan
you're
is still in
back-
place.
You win tonight, and you're right back on track.
Yep.
You would have accomplished everything that you set out to here.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you won 1 or won 2. The point was to at least win one of the 2.
Yeah.
That's all you ask for is the split.
That's it. Big split. Banana split, Liam.
You put the R in Oilers?
I put the R in Oilers. I've been saying it for years.
Not banana split. You had a very good looking cheesecake custard yesterday. Very on brand for you. You and BM both had
So
it.
did I. It was delightful.
It was fantastic.
You're
Yeah.
not down by the.
Well,
Well, it was just
it's
what
a
was
bougie
that?
way of saying
Yeah.
ice cream, frozen
Yeah.
custard.
Yeah.
Well,
Cream and custard are from the same mum.
I dabble with custard from time to time. You don't?
I heard
No one
you had a little coconut shrimp too.
I did. That coconut shrimp was incredible. I don't even know what
I
dip
told
it
you
was going
guys,
into,
That
but
place was legit.
I told you.
special.
The
Look,
oysters were
I
fantastic.
don't know a lot about a lot, but I know a lot about food.
Yeah, that was a good recommendation.
Shout out coconuts.
All right,
Coconuts was great.
getting back.
Did you guys get to La Bamba? You have to go to La
I
Bamba for
know we've
lunch.
passed that place a couple of times.
Where is it?
There's a Mexican restaurant 5 minutes from here called La Bamba, and if you don't eat there, you can't even say your Oilers name.
We're going there right after this then for a quick bite.
You don't. Yeah, it doesn't even matter if it's good. If you
Doesn't
don't go-
matter. It's
If you don't go there, did you even Oilers Nation?
well, we went on a lovely boat ride with the Seravallis yesterday.
Yeah, Captain
and
Frank.
in one of the canals, we stopped in front of this one house. There's just insane shacks. It's like they call this the Venice of America. And it said something doesn't matter. Leon.
Oh, Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de
Ponce
Leon.
de Leon.
Mm.
Yes.
That's a sign.
Sign.
Try
You
to
guys,
settle
La
in.
Bamba
you guys
lunch,
should check out the
crucial.
history books.
Mm-hmm. All right. Frank Seravalli for our friends at the Horses, digging through a couple of things here. Cody is in and says, anyone feel disheartened with the way we lost, though? Feels like a lost opportunity with how well we played. But I think the Oilers showed against Dallas that they can play well back-to-back games. They can play well 3 straight games. Like,
Gonna need it.
it's a good hockey team. And yeah, you're going to need it. You're going to need to string something together in this series. But again, like
The
game by
story
game,
of these playoffs is missed opportunity for the Oilers.
Mhm.
Blown game 1 against the Canucks. Chance to take a multiple series leads against the Canucks. Blown game against the Dallas Stars.
Mhm.
It hasn't hurt them yet.
It's part of
Well,
our
no,
story.
but, I mean, that's a glass half full, glass half empty kind of thing, though. You can sit there and say the narrative of the playoffs for the Oilers is missed opportunities, or you could say it's the way they've bounced back from adversity. Some of that adversity self-inflicted, but they've bounced back
Well,
nonetheless.
it's always been self-inflicted.
Well,
I think that's been the problem.
Yeah, it
right now,
always will be.
adversity has a name, and his name is Sergei Bobrovksy.
Well, he's a problem.
Big problem. Where's Marc-Andre Bergeron?
If you want my, I don't think you want to be putting that kind of stuff out into the universe.
I don't. Whatever.
Whatever. I think an interesting part as that game went on, and Gregor brought it up today on the DFO rundown, but the Oilers did start to make some adjustments towards trying to solve Bobrovsky up high. That's why Zach Hyman missed his chance, right? Because he just got a little bit too far under it. That's why Nuge missed that open net, because he knew he had to get it to the top of the net. So, is Bobrovsky in their head a little bit, or did they clue into what they need to do to beat him? You can go glass half full, glass half empty on that too.
Probably a bit of both, but it does seem like what they were doing to start the game was just a bad idea to start with, and they should have probably just known that was his thing. That was the thing going into the series, that Bobrovsky is really good down low, and they seem to just want to do that over and over again until it was almost too late, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'll be fine tonight. Like, you can only contain this offense for so long.
Yeah.
And the Florida Panthers, besides from Bobrovsky, didn't really prevent it that much. They gave up a lot of chances. The Oilers had 2 breakaways. Just got to capitalize.
Yeah, that's fair. Totally different lineup coming tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Let's start on the blue line. I was on Morning Cup of Hockey today with Colby Cohen and Johnny Lazarus, and they were like, why wouldn't they just sit Ceci then and play Broberg and Desharnais? And I was like, listen, I would love that, but I don't think Kris Knoblauch's going to do it, because it's been 102 games this season, or 101 games. Cody Ceci hasn't sat any of them, but Kris Knoblauch's doing it. Were you surprised, Frank, to see Cody Ceci out of the top 6 today?
No, how many times are you going to smash your head against the wall before the answer just appears right in front of you?
Well, but for me though, it was, we've watched him smash his head against a wall.
But there's no
15
more.
times.
This game you lose again. Not to overstate it, but you lose this one. You're in the deep end of the pool, and you're grasping for a life vest. That's it. There is no, hey, whoa, man, we should have done that. We should have made that adjustment. You don't get to go back and unring the bell, and that's the pressure that they're facing. But every single time to this point, he's made the right choice. Maybe the mistake was going back to Nurse.
That was
I
a
do
mistake.
think
That was a
game
mistake.
1 there was mistakes.
And I'm surprised that they didn't adjust in game. Why, once you were -1 already,
Mhm.
did you not feel that, like, we were all sitting here going, Nurse and Ceci back together again? And then it wasn't so much that, it was that they stuck with it the whole rest of game 1.
Yeah, they really didn't move away from that at all. The only thing they kind of changed is they elevated Broberg for certain stretches. And
Broberg also flipped sides with Kulak at one point. And now, you theoretically should be in a much better position. But here's the other part of this, and I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm just asking the question. We've already seen Darnell and Desharnais. Did anyone really get excited about that?
No.
If it worked, they would have stuck with that already because they already went with that.
I think they should have gone with Broberg with Nurse. If you're gonna play Broberg on his off wing anyway and offside, sorry, and he's playing so well, why not play him with Nurse? Like you said, we've seen Vinny before with Nurse, and he plays well with Kulak, and you don't need a lot from Vinny and Kulak. You need a lot from Nurse.
So you would have flipped Broberg or Kulak with Desharnais?
Broberg. And I would have made my second pair in Nurse and Broberg.
Yeah, I mean, man, you're asking a lot of Nurse, but a lot out of Broberg.
But we already did.
But you already did.
Proved that he can do it.
Yeah.
That's he's earning his ice time.
I was surprised with how much trust they showed in Broberg in game one. Not that it's not deserved. Just again, a guy who for the first 2.5 rounds for the whole season has been deemed as your clear 7. You go out and get Stetcher, which almost made Broberg your clear 8 there. And now all of a sudden you played him.
He never should have been in that position anyway. He's the defense version of Dylan Holloway.
Yeah.
Facts.
Would you? Sorry,
I was gonna say I think they played it right with him eventually.
Well, yeah. Congratulations, you got to the back half of round 3.
No, I mean going down to Bakersfield and just having him play there rather.
Well, that was the only choice because if not, he was demanding a trade and was on his way out.
Yeah, that's true too.
He kind of was doing that anyway.
Yeah.
So now the only proper asset management is to get this guy in your lineup and continue playing him because he's in your top 6 next year.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a critical part of that, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, the emergence of him and Holloway is a massive win throughout these playoffs, no matter how they end.
They should have gone to him a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe.
And even you guys have been hammering the Holloway train forever. Why wasn't the same heartbeat? Why wasn't the same push made for Broberg?
Because I understood the logic behind checking down from Kulak to Broberg, but the idea of trading away Ceci and giving Broberg those minutes wasn't really viewed as a realistic option for them. Should have been.
Well, they also talked themselves into the idea somehow that Tanev wasn't an upgrade over Ceci,
which is
insane.
Crazy town.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you have? Is this what you would have done with the 6D tonight, BM, or would you have thrown Broberg or Kulak up with Nurse instead of Vin?
I think I'm just surprised that Nobby's pulling Ceci out.
Yeah.
Nobody thought it was going to happen.
I thought
the
maybe it'd be
balls are
11 and
steel,
7.
my friend.
That was my line.
Has shown consistently that he's willing to make those moves.
Yeah.
Balls the size of an Athabasca oil sands dump truck is the phrase that I used on dailyfaceoff.com.
Yeah, I went nutsack the size of the North Saskatchewan.
That'd be large.
Yeah.
And long. And then merges with another river, the South Saskatchewan,
Wow.
to make one larger ball.
Think about it.
And then eventually
Uniball?
Yep.
Are we talking Uniball?
All right, we're good.
2 massive rivers forge into one.
Yep.
Whoa.
And the result is
3 testicles.
CC, you out of here.
The result is, Tyler, do you want to talk about some urine?
I want to talk about
for
We should
Peace
talk about
Nation.
Tyler's-
Dropping soon.
that's a real life conversation.
Tyler's freedom that he found here in Florida.
That's
For
a
the
real.
first time ever.
That's a real life conversation.
Yes, it is. It is
There's
a real
only-
life conversation.
This is so as we're standing, just a little behind the scenes for everyone. We pull up at a sandbar yesterday.
Fantastic.
It was
Oh,
unreal.
amazing.
And we were talking, and I said, look, there's only 2 kinds of people in this world: people who pee in the pool and liars.
And I said, you're disgusting.
And then you saw the light.
We are not in a pool. And that is a difference.
It's a body of water.
Yeah, a lagoon or whatever.
But
it
that
was.
doesn't have
A
chemicals,
bay.
and pools have chemicals.
Ugh, disgusting. Disgusting.
But that's true.
All right. I want to talk about the forward group tonight. A
Held
little
it together there. Pretty
I
good.
know. A little bit of a change there for Kris Knoblauch and the Oilers as well. They're elevating Adam Henrique up to the Draisaitl and Holloway line. Foegele, McLeod, Perry stay together. Janmark and Brown. Let's start at the top. Henrique gets the bump up. Kane is getting a bump down. He wasn't on the ice, but he said it to the media afterwards that he is going to play tonight.
For who? Fogel's
who's
the
coming out?
placeholder?
No.
It's gotta be.
It's
Why?
Perry. I think Perry would be the guy that
You
would come
think
out.
so?
But
You
they
think
also-
Foegele deserves
No,
another
they
chance?
talked about Carrick is a game time decision.
Well, yeah,
tonight.
Carrick. It could, yeah, but Do the math.
Who's your center?
I don't know. And that's why it's such an interesting puzzle because,
Connor McDavid's playing 30 minutes tonight.
well,
That might happen, but not organically.
It's probably a bad
Don't you
thing.
think that they might happen organically just because they have the 2 days between games?
that's what I said
We
earlier
talked-
doing
yeah,
my
we
DFL
did talk
Live. Yeah,
about
I think
that.
it's a good point.
I mean, if you're gonna unload the clip,
What do we know? We know it was his dad's birthday last night.
Mhm.
Wants to give him the best present of all, a Game
100%.
2 victory.
Yep.
We know we saw Cam McDavid last night, and we asked him if the Oilers were going to win today, and he said yes.
Yep.
Like,
Immediately.
didn't have to think about it. It was just reactionary.
He just wanted to get rid of you.
Probably.
Also, what's he going to say? No.
Well,
Can you imagine if he was like,
what are the
I don't know.
chances you go to a 7-Eleven in Fort Lauderdale and you're going to get recognized?
Well,
Pretty
when you
good.
look like your brother, probably pretty good. Yeah.
definitely like him. Evander Kane can't sit down on the bench. Like that was being talked about today, that whatever is bugging him so much that he can't sit. He's very banged up.
He's playing.
He's playing.
He said he's playing.
I know. What I'm getting at here is Henrique's elevation up, I don't think is some sort of a compliment to Henrique. I think it's a comment on just how banged up Evander Kane is. And I think they might be looking at, it's not a full 12-6 lineup. It's an 11.5-6.
but I also think that Henrique with Draisaitl and Holloway can work because he goes to the front of the net.
Yeah, I think it can work too. I think that's like,
Smart hockey player.
Yeah.
Mostly every goal he scored
He's
as
got
an
to
Oiler.
get there, though.
Yeah, he does have to get there, but mostly every goal he scored as an Oiler has been right in front of the net.
had a breakaway last game and got to the net well. I'm totally fine with the top 6. I'm just really intrigued if it is Kane for Carrick, just based off the morning skates, how they handle that. Do they trust Janmark to take shifts at center maybe because they experimented with that earlier in the season?
I think it's Foegele
I don't think they're taking Foegele out.
Why?
because he wasn't that good last game.
I
And
agree with
well,
that.
then
neither
exactly.
is Perry, but I just think I don't know. It just to me it seems like they'll put Foegele there
Like-
and take Foegele out, and keep Carrick in.
Nobby doesn't reward mediocrity.
I know, but I'm just looking at
But
that and
he keeps playing Ceci in the lineup.
Well,
now
Not today.
Not today.
He's-
Finally.
yeah.
Those
Finally
days are over,
stopped.
buddy.
Well, and I honestly think it was because of Cece's decision to just let Sam Bennett get that puck.
I think so.
I think
too.
it's
Yeah.
like, hey, this guy is not wanting to be the warrior that we need. He can skate. He's jacked, which drives me nuts.
He just got out battled.
He made a bad choice, and he is going to pay the price for that choice.
Well, it was the same thing. I think we spoke about it yesterday. The Ryan McLeod goal that he allowed against Dallas, the effort of not trying to block that shot.
yeah.
Yeah,
got
And
him
I
out.
think Derek Ryan also got scratched the next game, and he was the one who didn't get that puck battle that prevented that goal. So it is good. Like your consequences, their plays of consequences.
Well, there's this whole series is plays of consequences.
Well, and the margins
Yeah.
are this thin. Yeah, like I mean, one play last game. If they make that play, you never know the ripple effect out there. If Zach Hyman scores 2 minutes earlier, not even, it was like 45 seconds
Yeah, it was
earlier.
right
felt like.
before it.
Who knows how different that hockey game is, right?
Warren Foegele was out practicing his breakaways at morning skate today.
And how'd that go for him?
Saw him make one.
You just dump it in the corner.
It wasn't ideal,
Mm.
to say the least. I honestly I am surprised they're not going back to McLeod on that second line. That's the best we've seen him play in this playoff. So
Then what
far
do you
is
do?
on the
Have
second
Henrique
line.
as the third line
I
center?
would do him as the center, and then if you want to keep Foegele and Kane, whatever.
My
But I would
concern.
have put McLeod there. It's the only time we've seen his offense is next to Draisaitl.
I agree with that, and we talked about that yesterday. My concern with the way it looks now, if you do go Kane for Foegele, it's an injured Kane with Ryan McLeod and Corey Perry. If you're trying to attack Florida with speed, that is not how you do it.
But they've already done the speed thing. They're good
And
on
it
speed.
worked.
They didn't score a goal.
4-point-something expected goals. I think you can look at that game and say they just had to finish a little bit
Look,
better. But
the road to
process was right.
perdition is paved with expected goals and could have, should have, would have.
I know, but you
Great
also
movie,
can't
too.
ignore the fact that they played really well. Like their approach to attacking the Panthers with speed worked. They just didn't finish. Getting slower is not going to make them better.
Getting deliberate looks and continued sustained offensive zone time and cycle time and pressure. I'm not saying degrade your lineup with speed. I want skill. And I want high-end skill. And I want as much of it as I can get.
I think my bigger question is how Vinny is going to handle Florida's forecheck.
That's
when
a big
he's
part of it too.
pressured, he tends to handle the puck like a live grenade.
Yeah.
And that's a concern.
There's been
Florida's very aggressive on the forecheck, and he's not going to have very much time to make any kind of decision.
I've said to you guys all along, and I don't know why. I'm not saying you guys, but in general, the marketplace is like, oh, Vinny, so good. Like his skill set is very limited.
very.
He's a big dude who has range, who has reach. That simple is his wheelhouse, and when he tries to do anything more than that, he's in big trouble.
He's just got to stick to that laurel. Like he's just got to stick to it. Off the glass and out if he can't see or have time to
but
see
that's
anything.
not what the Oilers want.
I know, but
The Oilers
that's
want they want you to make a play, and I don't know that he's capable.
well, that's why I'm saying off the glass. He doesn't have a choice.
I know this isn't an unpopular take, but I don't know that taking Ceci out is the right play.
I don't see a good
He
argument.
can carry the puck out of the zone. Like he can move the puck.
Ceci?
Was Ceci
Yeah.
the problem or was Nurse?
There was
I think having them together is the problem.
Yeah.
I think,
both.
I think that is.
they
the problem.
just seem to both
Is
collapse.
the
together.
best collection of Oilers 6 defensemen? Doesn't it have Ceci in it?
No.
Okay.
Vinny
What's your split on Vinny Ceci?
Vinny drives Bennett into the boards there, and I don't think he makes that play.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think that
If he
same
can
play will
catch him.
happen.
That wasn't a foot speed issue, and Cece's not quick either. I'm totally fine with this. I think Cece's their 7th best defenseman, so this is the right play. At least Vinny's going to bring you a little bit of something in the physicality department, and like can't move the puck. Cece can't be relied on to move the puck consistently. So
And he's being paired with Nurse.
yeah. I wouldn't have done the pairings this way. I would have done Kulak and Vinny together because I think Kulak's a
Well,
little
it's
bit more
worked.
dependable, and it's worked. We
But
know
what if
worked.
it was Kulak and Ceci?
I like Kulak Vinny more.
Okay. We'll see.
All right.
We don't have a choice. It has to work.
Yep. All right, Frank Seravalli for our friends over at The Horses, brought to you by Horse Racing Alberta. Exciting live thoroughbred racing at Century Mile every Friday at 6:15, Saturday at 3:45. Frank, if you don't mind, before we let you go, I want to throw you the Sherwood Ford Giant question of the day, brought to you by the all-new 2024 Ford F-150 Tremor. It boasts a 5.0-liter V8 engine with 33-inch all-terrain tires for extra ground clearance with exceptional roominess and seating for up to 5. The 2024 F-150 Tremor pickup exhibits outstanding comfort and convenience.
We saw that tremor when we were at Sherwood Ford.
So sick. So sick.
Sign me up
And
for
they
that.
rip.
That
Yeah.
thing is awesome.
All right, Frank, our Sherwood Ford Giant question for the day. We talked a lot about how the Oilers were good in game 1, but who's one player you need to see more from tonight?
Leon Draisaitl.
That was going to be mine.
Yeah. I mean, not to say he was bad, but he also just was like slightly off kilter in the game 1.
A little bit.
Like a little bit uncharacteristic. Not like, again, not bad, but this is the best playoff performer of your generation. This is the time to shine. Let's go. It's not about this series isn't going to be won on the edges. This is brute force, stars against stars.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
What do you think then about the way Nobby loaded up the first line at the tail end of game 1?
I thought it was a little early.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to have moments where Barkov is going to get the best of you, the last thing you want is to have him take out your top 2 guys.
That's what I thought too. I think the Oilers are better when they're separated.
100%.
Couldn't agree more. And the longer you can keep them separated and avoid breaking glass in case of emergency, the better off you are.
Yeah.
I like the way Nobby handles it situationally too. It's like,
Can
hey,
we just call him Kris Knoblauch or what? Knoblauch?
Knobbers. We're knob gobblers here though.
We are big time knob gobblers.
I like the way he kind of like uses it as a bit of a weapon. Like, all right, power play's done. Boom, go with those two right over
Start
the
a
board.
period. I get it. I
Yeah,
mean,
out of a
there are
TV
certain
timeout.
spots to pick it, but
Just not every shift.
I don't like the full-time
to
teaming
go
up.
with it
Yeah.
third, all of the third period on, I think that's tough.
Yep, I agree with that.
But again, no one's going to fault you if you think that's the best generating line. You're down 2 goals. This game especially, you mentioned 30 minutes, whatever it might be, you do whatever it takes. I've said all year, this year is burn the boats. You burn the boats tonight.
yeah. BM, one player who you want to see more from tonight?
Not that I want to see more, like Connor. Connor needs to have one of those games where he comes out and dominates or generates more or kind of has his way against Sasha Barkov, which is next to impossible. He's one of the best two-way centers in the NHL, if not the best. Connor's got to win that battle. And I think that he's going to be motivated enough to do it. It's just a matter of, can they execute? Because this is a small detail series. It's whoever can execute the best, whoever makes the fewest mistakes. And I think Connor's first line, that whole line is a trio, needs to get the best of the Sasha Barkov line tonight.
Yeah, fair. Liam, one player you want to see step up tonight?
Well, I liked Leon as well. Maybe Ekholm. I thought it was weird he played less in Broberg last game.
Very
so
weird.
He's got to step up his game tonight.
Okay.
Was that because of his play or coach's decision? And this is not me about defending my boy.
I think part of it was the power play, when the power plays kind of came too, because like Bush was playing the full 2 minutes, no time to the second unit. And then if Bush is out there for 2 minutes, you come out of the power play and you need to give Bush time to rest, so they weren't playing Ekholm with anyone else. Who do you want to see step up tonight?
If he's in the lineup, Warren Foegele.
He's such a difference
if he's
maker, which
in the
sounds
lineup,
dumb to say, but like having a 20-goal guy disappear is mind-boggling.
Physically, he is built for the playoffs. Physically.
Yeah.
And he's just got to come to grips with who he needs to be right now. Because, Jesus, he was floundering and panicking. Like, dude, this is round 4, bro. I know you haven't played a few games, but, man, take advantage of your opportunity. It's also your contract here. You're watching money just fly out of your wallet right now.
He's lost a good chunk of change, I think.
Like, come on, man. And then holistically, my answer is the power play.
0 for 3 last game?
Yep. Like, they have to make adjustments. Florida gives you 0 time, which if you're prepared for it, you can use to your advantage.
Yeah, there should be lanes. Another guy's nurse. I want to see the guy from game 4 against Dallas.
Yeah.
He was a force in that game.
Jumping up, making plays, getting in the
Physical,
mix.
hitting,
12 hits.
jumping up, picking his spots well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Handful of Oilers. And again, maybe that's the counter argument to, the whole Florida played well, they're going to come back even harder. It's like, hey, Edmonton played well, and they actually probably have another gear than what they showed us in game 1. Yep. Appreciate you sticking around for the Sherwood Ford Giant question there. Frank, thanks for doing this.
See you guys. Enjoy the game.
Bye.
Yeah, we will enjoy the game. It'll be fun. There you go. Frank Seravalli for our friends at the Horses, Horse Racing Alberta. Well, do we want to? Yeah, we can move into the middle here, Liam. Hey. Don't come back yet, Aaron. I'm standing up. It'll look awkward. All right, continuing along on the show. Let's get into a few other things. What? Oh, yeah, we're all wonky. You got to go more that way.
I got to go more this way?
Yeah,
okay.
You got to go a little more that way. This looks all right
I
now.
think Lehman's got to come over.
I have a thing next to my leg here that I can't get by.
Liam can't move. There's a pole.
Due to a thing-related issue.
Well, whatever. We're already halfway through the show. We'll just keep grinding through like this. Let's keep cruising along with this. Let's go into we've already kind of broken down the lineup a little bit. Let's take a break from the series stuff actually for a couple of seconds, and let's do a away from the rink report. It's brought to you by our friends at Wilhauk Beef Jerky, Alberta's #1 beef jerky company. You can order it online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com, or you can pick it up at one of the 3 spots in the Edmonton area: Leduc, Spruce Grove, and the kiosk in West Edmonton Mall. We had a nice little reset day yesterday, I feel like, after our show was done in Miami, which was a lot of fun being out in that studio.
Great studio.
Oh, sick.
Cool
space.
So
sick.
Super ball in studio.
Sat in the same chair as Rick Ross and Ocho Cinco.
And Davin just commented, has Rick Ross ever sat in this chair, Jay? Probably not.
I don't know. This isn't like, shout out the AV Club, podcast, AV Podcast Club, for hosting us and allowing us to use your studio while we're here. But it is, I don't know if Rick Ross has been here.
You all right?
I'm so uncomfortable. Very thrown off by everything right now. That'll do.
Well, so how we ended up getting here, we got it all booked up with the AV Club. It's great. But we went to go leave the arena at like 1:05 Eastern. So 11:05. We're like, okay, we got 55 minutes to get to the rink. At most, and the Google Maps at that point said 30. So I was like, okay, we're gonna get there. Have 20 minutes to like set up, find our feet. We walked out of the arena and it was pouring.
It was kind of nuts. And Tyler wanted us to run through it.
Because I was like, we have a show, and Frank was like, I'm not walking in the rain. And you were like, I'm not walking in the rain.
I do not sound like that. I said, Tyler, it's raining. There's blue skies. If we wait, we'll be fine.
So
dude, you're from England.
I know. And
you were born in the rain.
and I stayed out of it since.
And then it slowed down to a mere. First off, we ended up waiting like 15 minutes for it to slow down.
Yep.
We were waiting next to. You just keep going back between
these
two spots.
cables are like stuck in my leg now.
Okay. We ended up waiting outside next to Macklin Celebrini.
We did, and him and
Caden Lindstrom.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, he is.
yeah,
And
the Belarusian guy.
Davidov. Is that who that was?
Uh,
I think it was Davidov. No.
I found his name here. Artem Levshinov from Michigan State.
Okay. So we were hanging out next to them. We didn't talk to them at all because we can't get close to them. But and then it slowed down to barely a like spitting of rain. And I was like, all right, guys, like it is 1:15 or 1:20, 20, whatever it was. I was like, we gotta go. And you guys were like, nah. So I had to go.
Story,
I had to go run. I had to go run to the car and drive back and pick you guys
That's
up.
what happened. Maybe 30 seconds later, it stopped raining, and Frank and I just walked out to the end of the parking lot, and Tyler was right there.
I had to come up to the front and pick him up. Ridiculous. But yesterday we had a great time. We were all getting along much better yesterday.
Yeah, because we weren't making up stories like this.
We were on a boat.
We were on a boat.
We're on a boat going through the intercoastal, as they call it, which is just a channel of water.
Oh, look at that. Aaron even pulled up the photos. It was cool. Like
That's my photo.
Oh, that was yours. Perfect.
No gators.
No gators. Didn't see any gators.
Manatees, but didn't see one. Or
Which-
dugongs for our Australian audience.
Which was sad.
It was sad. They're gorgeous, majestic creatures.
Very big.
And then we like met Frank on the boat, and we kind of go through the canals and just mansions everywhere. Like these houses were insane. Guest houses for the guest houses. And then you go to like the middle kind of part after you go for the boat, and there's like a sand area where you can get out and like the water only came up to like your hips.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So we put in a shift there, had a few beverages, tossed a ball around.
It was real classic like guy hangout. You're just drinking beers and just throwing a ball back and forth.
It's simple.
Yeah.
Getting the vitamin D. I'm so vitamin D'd after yesterday. And then even again this morning, I went on a long walk where I was on the phone for 3 hours, just walking up and down the ocean.
It wasn't too hot.
I was sweating.
I need a phone call outside too, and I was just drenched.
Yeah, it is not cold here.
And then last night we went and got ice cream and sat on the beach. And
Frozen custard, please.
Custard.
Yes. We fancy over
and
here.
we sat on the beach and watched the waves come in.
Also a lovely meal. Coconuts.
Yeah.
The oysters were exquisite.
I had crab claws.
We had crab claws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And bread and garlic.
So we left. So we went for dinner after our lovely boat day, and we have this amazing dinner. And right at the end of it, I'm like, let's go frozen custard at the beach. And I'm like, whatever we do, we cannot go to the Elbow Room.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who know, Elbow Room's this like iconic beach bar here in Fort Lauderdale. But it's got a gravity to it because it is always buzzing.
It also didn't help that while we were sitting on the beach across from it, we heard twice while we were sitting there, "Let's go Oilers" chants.
I know it was calling us in, and Mr. McDavid's there celebrating his birthday,
and the guy playing the band was continually bringing it up.
It was so we did go in for a cheeky. We had to.
Just one.
It was just one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of all of us.
You guys were ready to
listen. I was this close from being there until 3 a.m.
I could have shut it down last night, and I'm glad I didn't because I still somehow, even though yesterday was a light day, woke up this morning feeling like shit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're better for it.
We're better for it.
And then tonight, by the way, if you're down here in Florida, we will be back at Yard House right across the street from the arena. We'll be doing our big pregame
otherwise known as Oilers Nation headquarters, Florida.
It was rocking in there the other day. It was awesome. So we're going to be back there tonight. So if you are in Florida for game 2, come on down. Meet us at Yard House. We'll have a couple of brews. It was great meeting everyone we did there the other day. And then just a reminder, if you are up in Edmonton, our party spot is Greta. AB will be there with pre-gaming, arcade, bar, street food. They got it all at Greta. An unbelievable spot to watch the game with their TV setup. An unbelievable spot for the intermission entertainment. You are right in the heart of downtown. Join us tonight at Greta. We'll be doing a ton of giveaways and all of that stuff. I see Aaron behind the scenes fist bumping. Aaron, do you have a mic? I don't know if Aaron has a mic. Oh, he says 1 second. I want to get a vibe check from you on how that went the other day, but we'll give Aaron a couple of seconds to get set up. So again, Yard House down in Florida. Wow. If you're up in Edmonton, you come to Greta.
You are very loud. I'm the only one wearing headphones. Very loud.
Oh yeah, because we have to then hear Aaron.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Let me know what he says.
Yep. I will. Aaron, I'll be your translator. I got you.
What
you
up, boys?
Coming out through here.
Thank goodness.
We didn't need the headphones at all. What were the vibes at Greta like the other day?
Dude, it was insane. It was nuts. Every time we do these things, they get crazier and crazier. I got there, the doors opened at 4. There was already people lined up outside being like, Boardsy, it said first come, first serve. And I was like, guys, I'm not even inside yet. So just wait a minute. Every bar top seat was reserved. Every table was reserved, but they still let everybody come in. They could come hang. And I just stood the entire game with an army of nation citizens behind me. They'd be like, hey, you better talk about this in the post game. You better see this. It was incredible. Unfortunately, no prepaid Pink Whitney because the Oilers have to score a goal for that to happen. So I kind of asked the Greta staff and I was like, can I save it for game 2 and say the first shot on goal, we'll do some prepaid shots. So I might have a couple extra tricks up my sleeve tonight.
I like that. Let me throw you the giant question. Since you're the man handling pre and post game duties, you're obviously very dialed in. Who do you need to see more from tonight?
Evander Kane, if he's in. I know he's hurt. I know he's injured. It's game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals, man. Your game is made to be a playoff player. I have seen you do it from time to time. Sometimes it just falls off, and it's that physicality. It wasn't needed in the Dallas series. He did it in Vancouver against Little Z, as I like to call him, Nikita Zadorov. But I just need more. I need more nastiness. I need it from everybody. Yes, and I agree with Bag Milk. I'm concerned about how Vinny's going to handle the forecheck. That's been my key to this series is they come heavy, they come fast, and we know the Oilers, a lot of goals against tend to be mistakes of them getting the puck out of their own end, and that is not Vinny's strong suit, handling the puck and getting it out of his own end, but something had to happen with Cody Ceci, so I think we'll all celebrate that.
The chat is saying don't do the prepaid shot for the first shot on goal. They're saying you'll jinx it. You got to hold on. You got to hold on till they score.
Diamond hands.
Maybe for both goals then. We'll just double up. First goal, second goal.
There you go. I like that. Pre and post game with Aaron coming tonight. Thanks, AB.
See you, boys.
There you go. Our coverage of the final is brought to you by Fountain Tire. More than just tires, they offer a wide range of auto repair and services from their expert mechanics. Visit fountaintire.com to see all the mechanical services that they offer. fountaintire.com. It's a good thing we had quality tires on as we were ripping our way through that rainstorm today because it was ridiculous.
You were skidding.
Oh, yeah. We were going all over the place. It was something. But
You are an animal when you drive.
Yeah,
though,
that's
sometimes.
just driving with Tyler, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did good yesterday. Whoa. I did real good yesterday. Almost ran a red light today, but yesterday I didn't.
Yeah, that was something.
Also, anyone else could have offered to drive.
You haven't asked.
I don't think my name's on the.
Yeah, your name's on the insurance, buddy.
I didn't buy the insurance with the rental car.
Still on it. Not mine.
Fair
It's
enough.
on my phone.
Perfect.
now.
Then I definitely want you driving.
Fair enough. Our coverage of the finals down here in Florida. What did we make of Panthers fans in game 1 being in the arena on a scale of Canucks fans to Stars fans? Where do they kind of come in the middle there?
Right close to Stars fans. Not far off. Maybe right.
Couple of bad apples, but nothing insane.
No, everyone else is great.
Yeah, for the most part, they were all good.
Yeah, like I even had a good altercation on the sandbar with a Panthers fan.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
yeah.
funny.
They did.
And I don't know if we can post this photo, but we'll talk about it on real life.
Yeah, it was the greatest flag
He
of
had
all time.
one of the funniest flags hanging off his boat ever. And I asked if I could take a photo. And he said it'd be $5. You can Venmo me. And I said, I can. I'm from Canada. He goes, wait, are you here to watch the hockey? And I was like, yeah. He's like, can't do it, man. Sorry. And then we talked about it a bit. And he's like, go ahead and take a photo.
And you had your photo. But yeah, I thought Panthers fans were fine. For the most part, really positive interactions. You got a real good chuckle, and I know a bunch of people did, of them chanting USA all the time, even though there are 2 Americans playing in this series.
There's 2. Kachuk and who? Oh, I thought you would have known. Didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. Stolas?
Oh, you don't know.
No, I don't know. That's why I asked.
Who's the second American?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Chat, help us out here.
good.
Who's the second? Oh, Derek Ryan.
No, he plays for the Oilers.
Yep.
Oh,
And
the
it- but it-
Panthers only have 2 Americans.
Yeah.
I thought there was.
that's what you were saying.
No, I think there's only 2 Americans in the whole series. I think it might just be Kachuk and Derek Ryan.
Well, that is something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, I get it, but the fact that their best player was obviously their Russian goaltender
and their Finnish center.
and their Finnish center. Yeah,
But we would do. Well,
not one
actually,
American.
we
score
would
for
never chant
Oh, Spencer Knight's American. He's
Canada.
not playing.
He's not playing.
Oh, Okpozo's playing. So there's more. American.
Kyle
Oh, I thought
yeah, that's
is he
it.
American?
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
There
Alright.
you go.
Oh, big time. American.
Raging American.
Oh, okay.
You know what that means?
Yeah, anyways, I
Raging.
thought that was
Let's
funny.
see,
But
Joe Opinionated says Florida has 4 Americans.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Do your own research, folks.
that's what we always say. Panthers roster.
Let's
Mm.
have a look here. Florida Panthers roster.
Yep.
Oh, Tyler's got another big
I got it up on the big screen in front of us here. Oh, wow. Oh, Patrick Giles doesn't play. Mackie Samaskevich doesn't play.
Okay. yeah.
Will Lockwood doesn't play. So Kachuk and Okpozo. And then on the blue line, there's
no.
Matt Kierstad. He doesn't play.
Okay, so they have 2.
Yeah.
Spencer Knight doesn't
Spencer
play.
Knight, but he's
Oh, Stolars is American
I knew
too.
it.
But in terms of guys actually on the ice last game, they had 2. So doesn't really count.
The others had just one then. And Derek Ryan didn't play.
Derek Ryan. So yeah,
So
there
they
was
didn't
only
have
2
anything.
playing in the game.
We were ultimately
We
got
found
there.
we found our own truth.
It was a journey, but we got there.
Yeah.
The power of conversation.
also last night. Sorry, when we can move on.
no.
Where there was an extra puck doku that we didn't play. And it was 4 rows of Oilers and 4 rows of Florida. So you had to pick 16 players that played for.
Oh,
both
wow.
teams.
Mellenby,
Jared Smithson,
Jelena,
Oh, Jared
Oh,
Smithson.
Smithson's a good
Jelena we
one.
didn't get.
Jokinen,
Ray and Ryan Whitney.
Oh, yeah.
Double dip.
Chris Weidman,
Stolars.
Stolarz, Kulikov. They were both pretty low.
We had to put our brains together to come up with 16.
Yeah, we did.
There was a lot. Yeah.
Teddy Purcell.
Teddy P. Yep. It was a fun version of the Puck Doku. Okay, let's continue along with the show today. Let's get back into the lineup report. It's brought to you by Boston Pizza. It has been more than 30 years since a Canadian team has won it all, and Edmonton is just 4 wins away from doing it. What would it take for Canadians to team up for the win with Boston Pizza? Have we met anyone down here who's not an Oilers fan? No, that was in Dallas when we ran into.
There's a lot of non-Oilers fans here.
I meant Canadians who are like non-Oilers fans. Because in Dallas, remember we ran into a random guy who was like, I'm a Canadian, I'm a Canucks fan though. And he said he was rooting for us. Anyways, lineup report, the big notes.
Oh, I met a Bruins fan. I know it's not the same, but he said, I'm here to cheer on the Oilers because they knocked out my Bruins.
Okay,
I think
Panthers
it's
knocked them
I
out.
think it's interesting how nobody believes we're Canadian when they ask.
Oh, they're all
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah, they go, "You actually flew down here for this?" Yes.
Like that. We must have had like 30 encounters like that.
100%.
Yeah.
Like we're crazy. Well, I
AB,
see you in Edmonton.
give me the lines again for tonight, AB. If you missed the start of the show, it's the top line staying the same. Nuge, McDavid, and Hyman. Henrique with Draisaitl and Holloway. So that is a change. Henrique is up to the second line to play with Leon and Hollywood. The third line is listed as McLeod, Foegele, Perry. The fourth line is listed as Carrick, Janmark, and Brown. But Evander Kane is going to play, so one of those players will draw up. The likely scenarios here are one of Foegele or Perry could come out of the lineup. Potentially both of them could come out because Sam Carrick is apparently also a game time decision, or it could be as simple as Kane for Carrick. Janmark slides over to the middle of the ice, and the Oilers go with that look. Either way, I think we're going to see a lot of minutes for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. The playoff high for Connor McDavid is 29-42. He played that in a game against the Vancouver Canucks. Let's do a little question here for BPs. Over under 29-42 for McDavid tonight.
Under.
It has to
Under.
be under. If we're winning, it's under.
Can you go back to that again, please?
Yeah.
So that was game 3
Yeah.
against the Canucks. Game 2 was the one below, and then that Dallas game would have been game 6, right?
No, it would have been game 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're looking at
No, that would have been game 1 against Dallas. May 23rd. That was game 1 against Dallas.
Unless we have like 7 power plays.
Oh, and that game was double overtime.
Yeah, that was the double OT game where you got.
And then the last game, 6 of those minutes were on the power play.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's under. I think it'll be around that 24 mark.
I think we're going to see a ton of McDavid tonight. I think he might not go over that, but I think he'll be north of 28.
But that's for 2 reasons. Either we had a crap ton of power plays or we're chasing the game. And we better not be
Yeah.
chasing the game.
I like BM's point, though. 2 days off. If you're going to crank it up on these guys, crank her up now. And I think if it's a 1-goal game, we could see McDavid end up playing that much hockey.
If it's McDavid rotating as a center on another line, I'm in.
I think that's what it might be. I don't know how much Kane's going to be able to play tonight.
Yeah.
He's pretty banged up.
But he played 15 minutes last game.
Yeah.
The same thing is interesting because he did the press conference today.
Mm-hmm.
Sat down.
Yeah.
You have a hemorrhoid pillow?
Maybe there was no chair. Maybe he was just squatting to give off the illusion.
That would be way worse.
Working the thighs.
It's kind of like that Lonzo Ball video when everyone said he couldn't sit, and he's like, "Watch this."
Oh, and
He just sat down, and nobody's seen him since.
he couldn't sit, and they're like, and he can't get up when he sits because his
yeah.
knees are so bad. And he filmed that video of him standing up and down. That was good.
Seen him.
All right, there's our lineup report for Boston Pizza. Let's get into some game notes for our friends over at Wendy's. Wendy's only ever uses fresh, never frozen Canadian beef in all of their burgers. Whether it's a JBC, a Dave Single, or a Baconator, that beef has never seen the inside of a freezer. Order today and download the Wendy's app to find the latest deals. Game notes for our friends over at Wendy's. I brought this one up yesterday. I'll bring it up again. Sergei Bobrovksy was pulled in game 2 of last year's first round series, Stanley Cup Final series against the Vegas Golden Knights. There is no correlation to that whatsoever.
It's a reach, but you know what?
But I like throwing it out there.
It is something to consider.
Yeah.
We have to be glass half full at all times. That is our mission for the audience.
Yeah. Since 2006, this one from Gregor, home teams winning the first 2 games have won the cup 83.3% of the time, but the home team has only won the cup 40% of the time when it splits the first 2 games. So that is a pretty significant swing. The only road team to win the first 2 games was the 2012 Los Angeles Kings. Obviously, the Oilers just hoping for a best case scenario split. Gregor adds in the salary cap era, 2 teams that won game 1 on the road went on to win the cup. They include the 2012 Kings and the 2015 Blackhawks. However, we've seen more road teams lose game 1 and rebound to win the cup. There's 4 of them: the 2009 Pens, the 2011 Bruins, the 2018 Capitals, and the 2019 Blues. So there is plenty of history for teams who have gone down 1-0 in the series on the road to bounce back and ultimately win the Stanley Cup. What did you guys make of them bringing out the cup onto the ice before the game?
I feel like, yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's the first time ESPN's hosted a Stanley Cup, right?
Yes.
Like, in the listener agreement or whatever. So I get it. Like, try and
for the pageantry of it all.
Yeah, like it's kind of cool. They do it for like basically every other major sports final I can think of. Like in soccer, like the 2 teams walk past the trophy when they go out into the field. So I think it's fine. It kind of adds to the moment. It was cool to see it. I've never seen it before besides these last couple of days.
Yeah.
So.
For me, it was just like sitting in the stands, see the Stanley Cup, realizing how close you are, but you still can't quite touch it yet.
Yeah.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Frank said there was a shot of Connor McDavid. Didn't even glance at it. He's just staring straight ahead. Aaron says he's on the other side. He goes, it was weird as hell. Completely ruins the hype of it being in the building on clinch nights.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that every night.
Yeah, I think it was just kick off the series. Like if game 1 was in Edmonton and they did that, we would have been going, like the building would have been going crazy. Yeah. So unless, now let's put our tinfoil hats on for a moment here, gentlemen.
Okay.
Florida requested that to the NHL that the cup be there to then try to put that pressure on the Oilers.
Or jinx himself.
Gamesmanship.
Someone in the Charm Diamond Center's YouTube chat was in and says it was the Oily account. Sounds like they wanted to do it last year and both teams said no. So that's interesting.
Maybe one team said no and one team said yes.
But if Florida said, oh, okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'll let
follow me on my Earth is Flat blog too after this, please.
All right, let's get into a few more comments for our friends over at Charm Diamond Centers. You can check them out online, charmdiamondcenters.com. You can get a custom ring built and delivered in less than 4 weeks through Charm and the Masterpiece program. Also, just one more time, Jason Gregor's game notes up now at Oilersnation.com. Liam's got an article up too about sounds from morning skate. BM, GDB?
No, Gregor's on the GDB. It's Monday, but I wrote a random thoughts this morning first thing, just kind of going into game 2.
There you go. And there's a nice little look at what Gregor's game notes look like when you head over to Oilersnation.com.
That graphic really is interesting, that one right there. The Oilers only hit the top half of the net twice in game 1.
Wow. That is actually crazy.
All right. So
0 for 2. They went glove twice. They didn't go high blocker once.
All I see is opportunity.
And they went low on the ice, either 5-hole on the ice, blocker, glove side, 15 times.
So the 2 gloves would have been the breakaways.
Right? Henrique's breakaway was low. Nuge's breakaway
was
would have
low. That was a pad save.
Okay.
Yeah.
Left side though, right?
Great stuff. You can get
Yes.
over by reading the game notes over at Oilersnation.com. Couple of comments to get to here. Rusty, the reckless optimist, in his reckless optimist ways, says the Oilers took game 1 to dial it in. They're going to dominate game 2. Let's go Oilers. Ryan is in and says Stu Skinner needs to match Bob. I'm actually going to disagree with that a little bit. I don't think Stuart Skinner needs to match Bob at all. I think Stuart Skinner, if he does exactly what he did last game, keep it to 2 goals, he's doing his job. Like, again, he faced
What was
some
the save percentage? It was in the 8s, right? Because they had so little shots.
882 or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I
I just need that. Needs to start with a 9.
No,
That's all.
but-
Yes.
No, but the way he
Yes.
played last game was good enough for them to win.
He was good, but I'm going to quote one of my favorite people in the ecosystem, Carter Hutton, and not quote verbatim, but he's still going to make one of those saves because the other goalie is.
I don't know. I think the Oilers' offense was good enough to score.
Well,
They couldn't figure it out, but this game clearly, like, it didn't matter what Skinner did. If he made one of those saves, we lose 1-0, or I guess 2-0 at the empty netter.
Madison Coots is in and says this is in regards to the changes on the blue line. It's like the opposite of Sophie's choice. Neither of them brings much to the table. It's basically who's going to be less bad and cause less trouble. And I get that.
But that still can be viewed as an upgrade.
Yeah, I think Vinny does that. I think that's who
We'll
Vinny
see.
is. So
We will see.
I don't disagree with the idea that the two of them bring very different things to the table.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt that Ceci skates better and moves the puck better than Vinny. But I just think after seeing that physicality that Ceci didn't want to be a part of was just enough to get him moved out of the lineup and bring in Vinny and see what he's got. Like Knoblauch said, he's going to bring him in anyway at some point. So what were you going to do? Take out Broberg? I feel like this was the only move they could have made, and it was the right one.
So we need to see bulk minutes, Ekholm, Bush, Broberg.
Bulk minutes on Broberg?
Just like we did last game.
Same amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I
that's
would
good.
be, you know what I would almost do on the shifts where you have the power play, and let's say it goes to 2 minutes, they don't score. I would go right after that with Ekholm and Broberg as a duo.
And that's what you yes.
All right. Continuing along with the show, we got a few more things we quickly need to knock off before we wrap up the program today. Let's do our keys to victory for our friends over at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. We spent some time on a boat yesterday, and it's one of those things. You go out on a boat like that, and then on the drive home, you kind of go look at their website and be like, "Oh man, I'd love to have a boat of my own."
Oh, a pontoon boat.
Oh, it'd be good living.
man. They
Sherwood
got
Power
some nice ones
Sports
there.
and Marine, your one-stop shop for everything you need, from fishing rods to reels, tackle and boat accessories to motorcycle gear, water sports accessories, and even e-bikes. Find out more. Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Keys to victory, gentlemen. We're going to do another one of these from the beach a little bit later on today.
If it's
I
not
think-
raining.
If it's not raining, yeah, who knows what it's like.
Maybe we'll be
outside
in the
right now.
ocean.
Do it from in the
I
water.
feel like it.
That's risky. That's risky. Keys to victory. Who's got one right and ready to go for me?
Special teams.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm teaming up with you. I agree with this one. It was going to be mine.
All right. Yeah. Special teams. You got
PK
a
still
power play
hasn't.
goal.
Broke even last game. You got to win it though.
Bingo.
That's all. No more.
Well, there's
What
not
do you
much
think of their
more to
power?
say.
What do you think of their power plays last game?
Thought he was fine, but I mean,
They pressure.
wasn't-
They forced him. Like the power play
Yeah.
didn't look the same. And it's
I
because
think-
Florida was chasing him around.
It kind of reminded me of the first couple games against Dallas, where it took the Oilers a minute to figure it out.
yeah,
Don't worry, they adjusted.
they had the chance. Wait, what was it? Hyman?
Yeah, it was Hyman just right before the second goal.
You get that one, it's a completely different game.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, score a goal just anywhere would be ideal.
Yeah, like
Probably a good key.
my key to victory is shoot high.
Yeah.
Just shoot high. That is damning evidence on that article on Oilersnation.com. That graphic suggests shoot high, and we probably have a chance.
Yeah.
We get 30 shots again, and we shoot high.
This is actually a good spot, Aaron. You said you had those numbers that I found on Twitter the other day, just about how this one kind of broke down. I think it was Megan Chaika who was the one who put it out there on Twitter. Passes to the slot, Oilers up 14-8. Slot shots, Oilers up 28-16. Passes to the inner slot, 5-1. Inner slot shots, 19-3. Like, again, the Oilers were all over them. They were buzzing in the offensive zone. That's why I disagree with Frank when he was like, "Oh, if you cycled more, you'd get more." I don't think you can ask against a really good team like Florida to get more chances than this. So I think the key to victory for me is finishing your looks and finding a way to make Bobrovsky's life a little bit more difficult. Number of completed ozone passes, 163 to 79 in that game yesterday. That, or 2 nights ago. That's crazy.
Just to tag on to what you said, I think that more bodies flooding to the net. If Bob's going to give up any rebounds, somebody's got to be there to cash it in.
Yeah.
He made a lot of clean saves in game 1, and I think that was because he saw a lot of shots, but they got to get more people in his eyes, more people in his kitchen, just make his life difficult.
I think the only time you shoot low on Bob is if you've got some support, because he comes out of his net for the shot.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So anything that could produce a rebound, like going up high, is better chance to absorb.
Yeah,
that.
I'll catch it.
That's the only time. Like if you don't think you have a shot, I think that's the time you take it low.
Yep.
And then crash.
Hurt Albertan says you'll see those numbers tighten up a lot tonight. And, you know, the more we've kind of started to walk through and talk about some of this stuff, the more I actually think like the Oilers probably have another gear too. Like, I don't think that was A+ from Edmonton, the way some people were maybe making it out to be. I think it was
Leon was saying
minus, but like start finishing your chances and a couple other things go your way.
Yep.
The Oilers definitely have another gear than that. Those are our keys to victory. Everyone give them, right?
Yeah, I just want to give one more, like weather the storm. You know, like
the rain.
Well, that too, but like, you know, the Panthers are going to try and come out much harder than they did in game 1. So I think that the Oilers got to have an idea of how to weather the storm. And the best way is probably just to keep dishing out counter punches.
Just and walk to the car when it's raining.
Yep.
Sometimes you just got to grind. You got to put your head down and get through it.
And limit the chaos too. Like the 2 goals that did get scored, like I'm not counting the empty netter, but the 2 goals that did get scored were because guys lost their mark.
Mm-hmm.
And details matter. It's a small detail series and they need to tighten that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're going to have more throughout the week coming. When we recap games, we'll have our Douglas Mattress moment of the game. Still a lot to do. Also, no one on the Star Mechanical guest line today because we were running around a little bit here, and it's a tight edition of the show. But again, later
BM's our guest.
Yeah, there you go. Bag Milk is the Star Mechanical guest line today. He's usually not on the Sherwood Ford Giant Game Days. Great work, KB. Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. Find out more about them online at starmechanical.ca. We got one more segment we need to rip through. Also, we'll have guys like DJ Bean is going to be in town. Jason Demers is going to be in town. So we'll have a ton of people swinging by on the guest line later on in the week. It's going to be a lot of fun when this series shifts back up north to Edmonton. Let's wrap up the show with a quick little bit of betting talk for our friends at Betway, where you can get a $200 free bet if your first bet loses. Simply head to Betway, place a bet with no minimum amount required, and if the bet loses, you will get a $200 bonus bet to use to continue betting on your favorite sports. 18 plus, please play responsibly. If you want to get in on the action, scan the QR code that is on your screen right now. What do you guys like tonight? I mean, I think money line. Hell yeah, it's a money line.
That is the only bet.
That's the bet.
Like, yes, I'm going to play with props, of course, because that's what I do. But my only bet is the money line.
I like Leon to score tonight. I have a funny feeling about it. I think he's due to just hammer one home from his office.
Yeah, especially on the power play. If that clicks again, I can't see them doing that again to the power play if they get that many chances. Here's a question. Is it the same refs every game?
No, there's 2 crews.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So it'll be like Chris Rooney tonight then.
Yeah, whoever
he's with. Okay, yeah, Draisaitl's a good one. Kind of like a Bouchard one because I'm just gonna bank on the power play doing something special.
Mm-hmm.
Nuge had some chances last game, so it might not be terrible. Jean Hebert
and Chris Rooney are the refs tonight. So props. Anyone got
I'm
props?
gonna go with Henrique Point.
Ooh,
he's getting lifted up into the top 6. He's a smart hockey player. And I think that him playing alongside Leon, they can gel.
Yeah, I think that is totally fair. No,
Brown not goal.
I would also say, and just go look on Betway, Connor McDavid goal.
Just click it. Is it with money line?
I don't know because I can't
click up there.
Connor McDavid anytime goal. I like it. He's the guy that I said that.
It's anytime goal.
Wow, anytime goal. Yeah, showed it Betway. That's good.
Check out Betway. Connor McDavid anytime goal.
I like
his dad's birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Cam's in town.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to our friends over at Betway. It was kind of cool, not to go like too inside on it all, but like seeing all the Oilers parents hanging out last night for Mr. McDavid's birthday. There were so many of them all in that little corner of the bar.
Yeah,
not like we talked to them, but you just kind of like go look and you're like, oh my god, like Darnell's dad and Connor's dad sitting there having a drink together.
They're boys, eh?
Oh yeah,
like they are boys
everywhere. Yeah. But anyways, it was really cool to see them all hanging out. It's a family affair down here in Florida for the Stanley Cup Final. All right, we're going to wrap this bad boy up in just a second here. Aaron's in with his bet. He likes a Boosh power play point. So there you go. Yeah, that's a wrap on today's edition of the show. Once again, our Cup Final coverage down here is brought to you by our new friends over at Fountain Tire. Fountain Tire ensures that 100% of their vehicles owned have properly aligned wheels. Wheel alignment extends the life of your tire, which lowers the carbon footprint of your vehicle, reduces emissions, and lowers your fuel consumption. Read more about it at fountaintire.com. Let's go. Game 2. Are you guys, have the nerves kicked in? For me, the nerves last game didn't kick in.
I've been nervous since I got up. That's why I paced around.
So you are feeling a little bit.
Well, it's the Stanley Cup Finals. Of course, I'm nervous.
Yeah, I am. Like, I started writing my article this morning, and all I could think about was the task at hand.
Yeah,
I'm not playing, but it feels like I'm playing.
But I'm like, I got to make sure whatever I do is needed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel nervous at all. Am I not a fan of this team?
Maybe
it's
something to consider.
I just feel comfortable with them. I think they'll be fine. Nerves out the window.
Well, I hope that's no, I want them to have like nerves channeled properly.
Yeah, for sure.
George Mumford's got the boys dialed in tonight, I bet.
Saw George today.
Yeah, he was a popular man down in the bowels of Amerant Bank Arena.
I think he's gonna have the boys dialed in today.
Yeah, like underneath the arena.
I thought it was the vowels.
The vowels?
The vowels?
The consonants of the arena.
Well, I'm the R in Oilers, so I don't even know what vowels are.
Did your letter finally come off your stomach?
I'm not going to pull it up on screen. I think it did. Well, I did because I was sweating like a banshee walking up and down the beach today.
Yeah.
All right. That is a wrap on today's edition of the show, a Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition of the show. Check them out online, SherwoodFordTheGiant.com. Their inventory of new and used vehicles and their fantastic service department. Plenty of reasons to make them your next dealership. And I'll say this, plenty of reasons to be confident in the Oilers in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. It is going to be a hell of a game tonight. Boardsy's got you covered pre and post game wise tonight, 1 hour before puck drop and immediately after the final buzzer. I hope you all enjoy the hockey game tonight. No show tomorrow, but we'll be back with you Monday with Oilers Nation Everyday. Chat with you then.
Let's go, Oilers.
Thank you for watching Oilers Nation Everyday. Hit the subscribe button to never miss a show. And for more, visit Oilersnation.com.